Hey, it's Lily. Let's just listen to a story together. Today I'll tell you what I saw in our corporate office. A story that started with something as simple as a blocked calendar. A loyal wife, a proud husband, and a secret affair that everyone almost missed, until the truth spilled out in the most unexpected way. Look, I'm not proud of being the office periscope, but you park me by a water cooler and give me a view of the hallway, and suddenly I'm the neighborhood watch for a block of carpet. It started like any other harmless gossip worm, a fidgety curiosity about why our best project manager kept blocking her calendar at the same times every week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then, increasingly, Tuesday and Thursday too. Always in 45-minute slices. Always labeled something neutral, like budget review or asset audit, tagged to no project, no invitees public. Here's what snagged me. Those exact blocks mirrored on another calendar. Someone with permissions down to free busy only. Same gray rectangles. Same lengths. Like two shadows lining up on a sidewalk. The only clue was the icon. A little briefcase next to a last name that shows up on company-wide announcements and compliance trainings. The kind of name people don't say in the break room while they're microwaving fish. Mara's a star. Quick to laugh, quicker to tame client chaos. At lunch, she shows photos of her little boy. 4 years old, ravioli cheeks, eyes the color of green tea. Sometimes her husband, Tom, swings by to drop off a charger or spoon her a kiss in the lobby. He's the loyalty guy at a tech startup and has the confidence of someone who knows he can fix most things with an app and a smile. I've seen him tilt his wedding band while bragging to me about how Mara is the most loyal person I know. The words had a little performative shine to them, like chrome in a showroom. I nodded and said, "You're a lucky man." Because that's what you say when a husband does a victory lap in front of your water cooler. I didn't mean to notice more. But you know how a song gets stuck once you hear a single line? That's what the blocked times did to me. And then the small expressive details started conga lining. An Uber receipt open on Mara's screen, then hastily minimized. A lipstick that lived in her top drawer in a shade she never wore in meetings, but always reapplied at 10:02. Not a bright affair red. No. A quiet plum that said, "I'm serious. I'm an adult. And also, did you notice my mouth? The thrill of secrecy lives in the gaps between everyday things." That's what I've learned at the water cooler. The squeak of the bathroom door. The second ping of a Teams message when someone forgets to mute a chat. The way sneakers sound different from heels on polished concrete. When Mara slipped away, her steps softened. She smoothed her blazer as if ironing away evidence. And always that notebook under her arm. Empty. I know it's empty because once, months ago, she left it on the counter to refill her water and I peeked. Don't judge me. The human brain is a raccoon. The pages were blank, but for 4 dates scrawled in the corner. The last one was the day I noticed the second calendar mirroring hers. It went from noticing to pattern journaling without my consent. I'd refill my cup when she stood, slowly, pretend to be choosing between still and sparkling, while watching her glance at the hallway camera without looking like she was glancing. I'd tip my head when the elevator chimed and time how long it took to come back. 48 minutes. 51:42. Always within a margin that would look like actual meetings on a productivity chart. Then one Friday, the company did a summer Friday half-day. The mood on our floor felt like a wet dog shaking itself into the sun. Sloppy, happy. People left laptops open like they might sprint back. At 10:03, Mara still rose, smoothing her blazer, picking up the blank notebook. But the elevator was out of order. Maintenance on 12, a sign said. She hesitated, then turned not toward the stairs, not toward the smaller conference rooms along the interior, but toward the executive wing. My winged chair by the water cooler hummed like a bad conscience. I didn't follow. Not then. I told myself I wasn't a detective. I was a person who likes to know things for no reason. The difference is thin as copier paper. That afternoon, the company Slack lit up with photos from the rooftop. Margaritas in plastic cups, sun-squint smiles. Mara posted a boomerang of her straw-flicking ice. In the frame, for half a second, reflected in the glass behind her, there's a shape in a navy suit standing closer than colleague allows. The boomerang loops so fast you'd miss it if you weren't primed. But I was. When you know the melody, you can hum the song from one note. On Monday, I promised myself to mind my own business. I lasted until lunch. We have a long countertop by a window where people eat if they forgot to pack food or forgot to schedule time to eat food. The city smears itself across those panes like a watercolor, gray and moving. I was microwaving soup when I heard Tara from Legal and Priyanka from Data whispering, "Not quiet enough." "It's so obvious," Tara said, stirring her yogurt like it owed her money. "I mean, blocked calendars at the same time?" "The audacity. Do you know who?" Priyanka asked, eyebrows doing aerial yoga. Tara shook her head. "I don't do blind items, but the block times are loud. I didn't say I'd noticed first. There's a hierarchy to gossip, and the throne is made of plausible deniability. I just said, people block time to work. Deep work is back." "Deep work," Tara snorted, "isn't usually labeled budget review every day at the same time." "Maybe she's mentoring someone," Priyanka offered, "the nice friend we all need." "Maybe," Tara said, already bored. "Anyway, HR will eventually notice. They notice everything that could cost the company money. There it was. The dilemma unspooling in the fluorescent light. HR. The three letters that make everyone straighten their spine and pretend they never had a personality. I'm not naive. HR is a legal department with better lighting. If there's something that could risk a harassment suit or favoritism claim, they prefer to know yesterday. But I had no proof, just gray rectangles and a boomerang reflection, and my particular habit of seeing shapes in clouds. That afternoon, I saw Tom again. He was in the lobby with their son, who was making a brave attempt to eat both a pretzel and the paper it came in. Tom caught me on my way back from a coffee run. "Hey," he said, bright as a push notification. "You work with Mara, right? She's the one who keeps everyone organized. I tell her we're lucky she's so loyal to the team. At home, too," he added, as if to staple it to the air. "Yeah," I said, feeling the heat creep under my collar. I was angry, and not at who you'd think. Angry at being conscripted into a narrative I didn't want a part in. Angry at how easily the word loyal came out of a man's mouth like it was a magic spell that made facts arrange themselves. The kid waved his pretzel at me. I waved back. "She's great. Surprising her with lunch," Tom said, lifting a paper bag. "Figured I'd take her to that ramen place she likes. She's got a budget meeting at 11, but maybe it's canceled. Calendars are always lying." He laughed. The elevator doors opened. I watched him go up, watched the numbers light. 14, 15, 16. Our floor. My phone buzzed. A Teams ping from Mara. "Hey, can you cover the client call at 11? I got pulled into something. No problem, I typed. My fingers hovered. Are you okay? I didn't send it. Curiosity and concern are cousins who dress alike. Either one could get me in trouble. At 10:58, I saw Tom pass our glass wall, his son's hand in his. He looked like a good man doing a sweet thing. That's the worst part of all kinds of betrayals. There's usually a good person in the splash zone. He walked toward Mara's desk, still smiling, then paused. Her chair was empty, the notebook gone. He scanned the floor, a gentle worry line appearing. He texted, his thumb quick. The phone on Mara's desk lit up to silent. 2 missed calls, then a text banner. At 11 already? We're downstairs. Downstairs where? I wondered, and hated myself for the speed of it. I excused myself from Slack and walked to the back hallway, the one that leads to the executive wing. The glass doors with the etched logo that always remind me of a cathedral for spreadsheets. Maintenance was finished. The elevator there was working. I don't know why I did it. I tell myself I was going to tell Mara about Tom, that I was going to nudge a story into a safer lane. I pressed the button. It gave that polite ding and opened like a mouth about to lie. On 20, the floor smells different. Less coffee, more eucalyptus. The carpet has the kind of silence money buys. I stepped out like a tourist in a museum where you're not sure what you're allowed to touch. Most of the offices on that floor are Fisher-Price perfect. Tasteful plant, tasteful award, tasteful photo of a team in matching t-shirts doing charity. At the end of the corridor, a small conference room sat with the lights dimmed. The door was cracked an inch. I could hear the hush of close talking, the intimate way people's voices braid when they think the world is on mute. It could have been anybody. 2 people reviewing a deck, sharing a headphone. It could have been nothing. But there was a scent in the air, something like orange blossom, like the cologne sample from a magazine that someone had rubbed on while waiting for a taxi. And under it, the faint, warm note of Mara's plum lipstick. I know that sounds ridiculous, like a detective novel I don't have the right to write, but scent remembers what schedules pretend to forget. Okay, a man's voice said softly. I couldn't place it. I knew everyone on our floor. I didn't know those vowels. 5 more minutes. 5, Mara whispered, and that whisper pulled a tiny zipper closed across my chest. I moved before I thought, back down the hall, past the tasteful awards, footsteps quiet as an apology. When I got back to 16, Tom was near panic. Polite panic. The kind where you apologize for taking up space while your heart is rummaging. He saw me and asked, "Is Mara in a meeting?" "She's not answering." "Budget review," I said, and it came out like a cough. "I think it's running long." "Oh," he said. His kid leaned against his leg and yawned. "No problem. We can wait." He sat on the bench by our plant wall, hands folded. After 6 minutes, his shoulders slumped a little. After 10, the boy fell asleep, mouth open, pretzel a crumbly halo on his shirt. At 15, Tom stood. "Tell her I stopped by?" he said, too cheerful. "Tell her I'll try again next week." I nodded because nodding is easy. He left. His text hovered on her screen unanswered. We were here. Maybe next time. Love you. Mara returned at 11:49 with the soft focus glow of someone who has been seen exactly the way they wanted to be seen. She swept by my desk, hair tucked behind one ear, eyes bright, face carefully blank. "How'd the client call go?" she asked, casual like a cat. "Good," I said. They moved the deadline up, but we'll make it. Oh, great, she sat. Her phone lit up with Tom's message. I saw her jaw flex, tiny, almost invisible. She typed something back. A little blue typing bubble appeared on my own conscience. She backspaced. She set the phone face down. I should have turned back to my work. I should have unknitted myself from any narrative not mine. But something about Tom's drop by and the sleeping child and the looped boomerang reflection clicked like a code into place. I toggled my Outlook to the shared free/busy view again. The gray bars lined up like train tracks, and I noticed for the first time that Mara's budget review blocks overlapped not just in time with the other calendar, but in location. The room code. Our little rooms are named after trees. The executive ones are named after constellations. Her block said Rigel. So did the other calendar. Someone had gotten sloppy. Someone had come to believe the secrecy was part of the thrill, and the thrill made them careless. That's when the new email arrived. Subject line: Company Values Reminder, Workplace Relationships. Sent by HR General Policy Refresher, they said. No particular reason, they said. If you are in a consensual relationship with a colleague, especially where there is a reporting hierarchy, you must disclose to HR. The words, reporting hierarchy, sprouted neon wings. My stomach dropped like an elevator suddenly deciding it was done with gravity. Too on the nose, right? Like the universe was live commenting. I clicked out of the email and into our org chart. Public, benign. Followed the branches like a kid tracing a family tree with a crayon. Followed Mara's line up to operations. Followed operations up to executive management. Followed that to a last name that wore a briefcase icon like a crown. The same last name I'd seen on the mirrored calendar. The same shape from the boomerang reflection. My tongue went dry. My water cooler wheezed behind me. Tara popped by, filled her bottle, looked sideways. Did you see the HR memo? She asked, too casually. I did. She lowered her voice. You think? I don't know, I said, which was true in the legally defensible sense. In the other sense, in the sense that mattered to blood and breath and marriages, I thought I knew. And suddenly the choice pressed at my ribs. Report to HR and burn down a life not mine, or mind my own business and watch a different life burn down, quietly, in a kitchen with a 4-year-old drawing sons on the fridge. At 2:17 p.m., a meeting invite crashed into my inbox. Quick sync, confidential, from HR. Mandatory, it said, for select operations staff. I stared. The invite list was blind. The location, Rigel. That constellation again. That room where the air still smelled like orange blossom and someone's whispered, 5 more minutes. I looked over at Mara. She was typing, jaw tight now, phone face down as if it might bite. She felt me watching and looked up. For a second, in the glare of afternoon, we were just 2 people at desks, sharing the same stale air. Her smile was neat and small. Everything okay? She asked. Yeah, I lied. Just a lot of meetings. She nodded knowingly. Tell me about it. At 2:22, my cursor hovered over accept. Tara walked by and mouthed, Are you going? I shrugged like this was all normal, like quick syncs are not can openers for worms. I clicked accept. The minute I did, a second email appeared, from a name that lives on the top floor in the all-hands stage. The subject line was only my first name. The body had one sentence. swing by my office before that sink. The signature block was immaculate. Title, direct line, the company logo stark and expensive, and the last name matched the briefcase icon. My mouth went dry again. I checked the sender twice, thrice, the way you reread a text from someone you thought would never text you. Across the floor, Mara's phone lit. She picked it up, read, and for the first time all day, she looked scared. The elevator chimed. I stood, and then the door to the executive wing opened, and he stepped onto our floor. I had never seen him on 16 before. Executives don't float down unless there's a fire to bless with a clipboard. He walked like he owned the carpet, which technically he does. Crisp navy suit, tie the exact color of a midnight Uber map, hair that probably has a calendar slot called barber. He's not movie star handsome, but he's the kind of face that photographs well in shareholder letters. Competent jawline, eyes that do math while you're still greeting him. People straightened without meaning to. Chairs clicked. The room picked up a new gravity. He didn't scan for anyone. He already knew where he was going. Straight toward our row. Toward Mara. Got a minute? He asked. Easy as a casual Friday. He did not say her name. He did not have to. Of course, she said. And if you didn't know her, you'd think she was flattered by the attention rather than shoring up a dam with both hands. She took only her phone, not the blank notebook, and rose with that precise economy I'd timed for weeks. He turned then, acknowledged the floor in one sweep, including me, which felt like a stage light tripping into your eyes. Hey, he added, and used my name. The sound of it in his voice was wrong, like a password spoken aloud. Hi, I said, pretending not to count the seconds of my own pulse. He held my gaze an extra beat that could be mistaken for friendly leadership, but landed like a paperclip snapping onto a live wire. Then he and Mara walked toward the executive hallway, close enough that their shoulders could draft in each other's air. As the glass swallowed them, Tara exhaled a wordless syllable at my elbow. Oh, she said, grin turned down. Oh, don't, I murmured, though I didn't know who I meant it for. Her, myself, the building. Priyanka stood, smoothed her cardigan, sat again. Our Slack pinged with everything and nothing. A client asking for an updated burn. A designer dropping 3 logo options like newborn kittens. At 2:30, I went where I was told. Rigel is one of those rooms that makes PowerPoints feel like TED Talks. Velvet chairs, a wall screen big enough to land planes on, a carafe of water that looks like it's been interviewed by a magazine. HR had arranged the seats in a diplomatic circle that said, "We're a family, and we're also taking minutes." There were 8 of us. Operations managers, 2 project leads, me, a QA analyst whose face is a permanent apology, and Lara from HR, who is famously kind until you need her to be a lawyer, which she also is. Thanks for making time, Lara began, tapping her tablet like a metronome. This is a quick pulse check about culture and boundaries. We're doing these across departments. Nothing specific, nothing punitive. Little check-in vibes. Her voice is warm milk with a caffeine shot. Comforting, then alert. She talked about expectations, hybrid work etiquette, the uptick in calendar hygiene issues. A slide appeared. Screenshots of sample calendars with blurred names and color-coded chaos. I watched everyone's eyes track the blocks like Tetris. Every one of us has been too busy and too blocked and too human to pretend we're better than a rectangle. Sometimes, she said, smile steady, Blocks that look normal can mask issues, and sometimes blocks that look suspicious are just people protecting time to think. We don't regulate micro unless it becomes macro AF. But please remember, if anyone is in a consensual relationship with a colleague, and there's any whiff of a reporting line, we need to know. Not to punish, just to firewall. The word felt like a polite way to say, "We can't afford your chaos." "Questions?" she asked. Silence is a currency in rooms like that. If no one spends it, it accrues interest. I could feel Mara without seeing her, like a thunderhead behind a building. My tongue is usually a responsible citizen. It pays its taxes on time. But then Lara added cheerfully, "If you hear chatter that concerns you, we'd rather you come to us than attempt to manage it." My mouth opened. I felt it happen the way you feel a sneeze on a date. "What if?" I said, and the room turned toward me in a soft swivel. What if it's not exactly chatter, but patterns? Like overlapping block time, daily, for months. I didn't say names. I didn't have to. You could feel the air tilt. Someone coughed into a sleeve. The QA analyst looked for the fire alarm with his eyes. Lara didn't flinch. "Patterns are interesting," she said evenly. "Patterns are also not evidence. We look for context. We don't want to become a company of informants." A pause. "If there's a concern about favoritism, coercion, or retaliation, that's different. Then I do want people to speak." "Right," I said. My face ran warm, as if I'd stepped too close to the toaster. "Also," she added, and here the milk in her voice cooled, "rumors are workplace arson. If you are not sure, err toward privacy. You do not want to be the narrator of someone else's life unless they asked you to be." Narrator. The word stuck like a burr. I have been narrating from the water cooler for months, an unpaid podcast nobody subscribed to, and now it tasted like metal. I nodded. Everyone nodded. The meeting ended with that scripted brightness HR installs at the exits of difficult rooms. As we filed out, my phone buzzed with a calendar update. 3:15. Drop by. From the executive's assistant. No subject. No agenda. The sender's profile photo is a sunset over a lake. I do not think she has seen any sunsets lately. I didn't have to go up. Drop by isn't mandatory. But if I didn't, it would read as a choice. And not going is also a kind of going into a different storyline. I told Tara I needed to check something on the 17th floor, because all lies are easier to tell if they have an elevator number. On 20 again, the air smelled faintly of eucalyptus and printer toner, and whatever money smells like after it buys a chandelier. His assistant waved me through with a smile that felt like a bandage removed slowly. "He's ready for you." I stepped into an office that could moonlight as a boutique hotel lobby. The view punched the windows into diamonds. River, bridges, 3 cranes. A rooftop garden on a building that charges extra for dogs. He was at the window with his jacket off, tie loosened just enough to say I work so hard. On the credenza, a framed family photo. Wife in a white sundress on a cliff. 2 kids. A golden retriever performing the concept of loyalty. The wife has the kind of face you trust with a spare key. "Thanks for coming," he said, turning, practiced smile falling into place. He gestured at a chair. I sat. My hands attempted to find a natural position and failed. "How are you liking the new reporting structure?" he asked. Small talk as anesthesia. Seeing better throughput? Yes, I said, which was not a lie. Less context switching. Good. He perched against the edge of his desk like an approachable priest. I heard today's HR sync might have felt pointed. We're doing them everywhere. These culture things can start to feel like camp counseling. A light laugh. Sure, I said, and put my face into the shape of someone being managed. Here's the thing, he said, and the room shrank a degree. We have a lot of smart people. Sometimes smart people get bored. Sometimes boredom looks like bad decisions. He watched me, like a teacher deciding if a student is ready for the next chapter. We try to treat people like adults. Adults make mistakes and also can be trusted to fix them. I thought of Mara's plum lipstick in the conference room, the way she had whispered 5 like a vow. I don't want rumors, he said. And there it was, the sheet music for the song he wanted me to sing. They destroy value and people. If you hear something that concerns you, I'd prefer you give me the courtesy of context, not to hide anything, he added, palms open, but to address it in the way that causes the least collateral damage. I began, then tripped. I haven't been hearing anything. I just see calendars. It's my job to see schedules, which is true in the way seasonal allergies are my job if I stand in a field. He smiled a not smile. You're observant. Observant people are assets until they forget why they were hired. I should have bristled. Instead, a weird calm washed over me, cool as the office's conditioning. He was not trying to make me an accomplice. He was trying to define the perimeter of my role. He wasn't seducing. He was administering. Also, he said, nodding toward the family photo so briefly I could have imagined it, personal lives are complicated, mine included. You don't get to this seat without making trade-offs, and you don't stay in it if you turn trade-offs into headlines. I stared at the river, at a crane, at my own hands. Is there something you want me to do? I asked. Because if someone is going to hand you a script, you at least want to know your lines. Yes, he said, soft as a knife. Do your job. Keep your head down. If HR asks you a direct question, answer it. If they don't audition. Silence sat with us for a beat, polite and heavy. Then he brightened. How's the water cooler these days? He asked, and the shock of that question actually made me laugh. A small bark, involuntary. He grinned, friendly now. I hear it wheezes. It does, I said, relieved by the return to a world where appliances have personalities. Like it's allergic to hydration. Get facilities to swap it, he said. Put a ticket in my name. I will. Thanks for dropping by. He stood. The meeting was over before it could start. It was not a conversation so much as a boundary drawn with a dry erase marker across my week. As I left, I glanced one more time at the family photo. On the wife's wrist, a thin gold bracelet. On the dog's collar, a tag shaped like a bone. On the edge of the frame, a smudge I recognized from too many parents' night tables and leaky lipstick tubes. The elevator ride down felt longer than up. When the doors opened on 16, the office hit me all at once. The coffee, the faint scent of someone's banana in the trash, the hum of our shared delusion that work is a neutral space. My Slack pinged. Tara. Then a second ping. Mara. Can you jump into a quick debrief at 3:40? Need your read? I typed sure and wanted to add, are you okay? And didn't. Boundaries, says the man with the lake photo. Do your job. At 3:38, I went to Vine Maple, one of the small rooms named like a hiking trail. Mara was already there, hair now in a low knot, palms flat on the table the way you steady a cutting board. She smiled, but not with her eyes. Thanks, she said. Client moved the banner concept to AB this week. I want to sanity check the rollout. We talked about banners for 7 minutes. It was both excruciating and a relief. Work is an excellent decoy for grief. Then she closed her laptop and looked at the frosted glass, as if making sure it would hold. Did HR ask you anything weird? I shook my head. General training wheels. You? Same, she said, but her voice landed with the wrong weight. Listen, she added low. I want to ask you to do nothing. It was the first honest thing either of us had said. I nodded slowly. She exhaled, a quiet unwind. I know what it looks like, she said. I also know I'm not a villain. People want stories with villains. It makes it easier to clean up. She looked at me then. Really looked. I have a husband who loves me and a kid who needs me and a job that makes me feel like something more than lunchboxes and decks. And I also have a situation that makes my heart wake up. She winced at her own words. It's stupid to say it like that. It's not a teenage diary, but I'm trying to say I know it's messy and I'm not careless. I thought of Tom on our bench, syrupy, cheerful, their son asleep with pretzel dust sainthood on his shirt. Careless is subjective, I said. I know, she said. I know. It started as, I don't know, oxygen. You work this hard, and someone sees you in this weird X-ray way, past the meetings, past the cereal on your sweater, and you get addicted to feeling seen. That's so basic, right? People make religions out of that. Then somehow it's a curve you can't flatten, and before you know it, you're telling your husband you'll be late because the client in Zurich wants a walkthrough when really you're sitting in a room with the lights dimmed because that's how it feels less fluorescent. Her face flushed. She grabbed her water bottle, didn't drink. I thought of the HR slide with the blurred rectangles. I thought of his instruction, do your job. Of her plea, do nothing. Somewhere beneath both was a small, stubborn voice I recognized from my own life. The one that asks, and what about the truth? I won't go to HR, I heard myself say. Relief washed over her so fast it made sound. But, I added, if they ask me directly, I'm not lying. She nodded. I wouldn't want you to. That's not fair. We sat in that tiny room and breathed. She touched her phone, put it down, touched it again. Finally, she said very quietly, he's ending it. After 4:15, the sentence landed like a dropped dish in another room. You hear it? Then the clatter catches up. He told me just now, she added, voice threadbare. We set a date because it's possible to schedule the end of something if you pretend hard enough. Why Q4? I asked, too blunt, and she almost laughed. Because everything is Q4, she said. Comp bonuses, reviews. Because people like to imagine clean edges. Because he says he has to stabilize optics before the board meeting. Like our feelings are a graph someone forgot to label. I swallowed. Are you okay? No, she said, so simply it peeled something. Then she smiled in a way that looked like someone holding a light bulb with a towel. But I will be. I'm good at projects. There it was, the managerial self-soothing, life as a Kanban board. She stood to leave, then stopped. "Tom stopped by today, didn't he?" I blinked. "He did. He texted me," she said, eyes not meeting mine. "I was in a meeting." We were lying to everyone but each other. She nodded toward the door. "We should go be normal." We did. The afternoon smeared into its usual shape. Emails, snack room debates about whether seltzer counts as hydration, the light tilting toward a color people call golden in listings and late in offices. At 5, a thunderstorm crawled over the city, fat drops and an ozone smell through the vents. People folded laptops like origami and fled for trains. I always linger. The building is gentler when it's emptied. The water cooler wheezed one last time like old gossip being careful. I packed up at 6:20. As I passed Mara's desk, I saw her screen, a draft email to Tom. Subject: "Tonight?" The body empty. She stared at it like it might assemble words for her. Her phone face up now. A FaceTime icon lit. Missed call. Tom. The wallpaper behind the icon was their child at the aquarium. Tiny hands pressed to the glass. Wonder making him into a lantern. "Night," I said softly. She startled, then smiled. "Night." On my way out, I checked my own calendar for the morning. Habit. I noticed it right away, like hearing your name in a crowded room. The shared free/busy tab still open from earlier. One more gray block added to his calendar. 10:03 a.m., 45 minutes. Rigel. And on Mara's, a block at the exact same time, but with a tiny tweak. Not budget review. Just B. The thrill of secrecy isn't only in hiding, it's in leaving breadcrumbs with the confidence no one will follow. Maybe the letter wasn't even deliberate. Maybe you get tired of making up fake names and your fingers revolt. I stepped off the elevator into the lobby, where the marble floor makes our footsteps sound better than our days. The security guard nodded. We have our weather small talk. The storm had passed. The glass doors exhaled me into air that smelled rinsed. I walked 3 blocks to the tram. On the platform, I watched the reflection of my own head in the dark window and thought of all the things I now knew that were really clothes on a hanger without a body. I thought of the HR slide, of his office with the lake photo assistant, of Mara saying I'm good at projects like she could manage her own heart into compliance, of a 4-year-old pointing at a jellyfish and saying, "Moon." My phone buzzed while the tram rocked into motion. A private Slack message from an account I didn't recognize at first. At compliance-bot. The icon. A shield. The text. "Hello. You have been randomly selected to complete a confidential survey regarding workplace culture and power dynamics. Your responses are anonymous. Please complete by tomorrow, 10 a.m. Randomly selected. Tomorrow by 10 a.m. The precise minute 2 calendars go gray. I stared at the link. My thumb hovered. The tram groaned around a bend. Across from me, a teenager laughed into her phone about something that will not matter in 10 years and will matter tomorrow. The city outside slid by in tired neon. When I got home, I didn't click the survey. I made pasta. I watered a plant I keep forgetting I own. I laid on the couch and tried to let TV rinse my brain, but the show's fake problems bounced off my real ones like ping pong balls hitting a brick. At 9:12 p.m., a text from Tara. "Drinks tomorrow? I need to tell you a thing I'm not supposed to know." I stared. I typed "sure" and backspaced. I typed "let's not" and backspaced. I settled on "maybe," which is a bridge with a missing plank. At 10:01 p.m., my phone lit with a new message in the Parents of Room 104 WhatsApp thread. Mara's husband, Tom, posting a photo of their kid building a tower of blocks and grinning like architecture is a joke you tell with your hands. Tom captioned it, "Mara's late tonight again, but Max and I made a skyscraper." The smiley face was the saddest shape I'd seen all week. I put my phone face down. Sleep, when it came, was shallow and full of elevators. Morning, 9:54 a.m. Coffee, inbox, unresolved survey tab hovering like a dare. The water cooler sighed at me like an aunt. At 10:01, I saw the movement in my peripheral. Mara rose, smoothed her blazer, took the notebook. Her calendar gray. His calendar gray. The letter B, like a wink. I refilled my cup, slow. My feet knew their mark. The elevator dinged with its polite lie. The building held its breath. And then, this was new. The glass door to the executive wing didn't swallow her. It stayed in its quiet hinge. She turned left instead, to a smaller room I'd never seen her use. Orion, not Rigel. She swiped in, alone. I blinked, checked the shared view. His block read, Rigel. Hers, Orion. Their timing matched. Their stars didn't. A misalignment and the tiniest rattle of panic shook my cup. On our floor, at 10:04, Tom appeared in the lobby feed on my screen, the one you can see if you know how to toggle the visitor list. He'd signed in. Again. Alone this time. No pretzel. The guard had stuck him with the usual sticker. His name looked wrong on his shirt. I looked up to see him in real life, heart on a string, heading toward our glass. He waved at me with that desperate brightness I'd seen yesterday. "Surprise," he mouthed. I stared at the conference room where Mara now sat. Not in Rigel, but in Orion. Alone. I watched the elevator icon for 20 glow and pause, and somewhere above us a door opened. A woman stepped out of it. Not Mara. Not anyone from our floor. She moved like she'd rehearsed the route. She walked past our row, past Tom, who didn't even see her, to the executive hallway. She wore a white sundress despite the office air, a thin gold bracelet catching the overhead lights, and a face I recognized from a frame on a credenza with a dog who believed in eternity. She walked straight into Rigel. I felt the building shift around me, quietly, like a story deciding to be a different genre. And then my phone lit up with one new Slack message from a private channel I hadn't known I was in, created 5 minutes ago. Title, Confidential, Operations Input. The only message was from Laura in HR. "Can you come to Rigel right now?" When your phone lights up with a message like that, from HR, with your name on it, you feel it in your teeth. My cup of water sloshed, tiny waves tapping the rim. Rigel. Right now. Not Orion. Not some generic floor. Rigel. Through the glass wall, I could still see Mara in Orion, alone, head bent over her blank notebook. And in the other direction, Tom was at the reception desk, handing the security guard his visitor sticker like he was on a field trip. And then there was her, the woman in the sundress, gold bracelet catching the fluorescent light, the face from his family photo. She had gone into Rigel minutes before HR summoned me there. My stomach twisted so hard I thought I might spill every secret I'd half swallowed these last months. I stood. My legs carried me before my brain could draft objections. The QA analyst gave me a questioning look as I passed. I shrugged like this was nothing. Just another Tuesday morning trip to HR's favorite constellation. The hallway toward Rigel stretched longer than usual. I pushed the door gently, half expecting to interrupt an explosion. Instead, I walked into a room heavy with silence that wasn't empty at all. Inside, Lara from HR, perched with her tablet like a referee. The executive, tie knotted sharp this time, jacket back on, standing near the window with his hands steepled. At the table sat his wife, the sundress woman, posture perfect as though she'd been stitched into that chair. And then there was an empty chair. Mine. "Thanks for joining," Lara said, warm as ever, though her eyes were scanning the air like a metal detector. I sat. My pulse made a sound in my ears like someone shaking dice in a cup. The executive cleared his throat. "We're keeping this informal." "Just a conversation." His wife looked at him, then at me. There was something sharp but steady in her gaze. Not confusion, not fear. Knowledge. The kind of knowledge that cuts clean through pretense. Lara folded her hands. "Sometimes," she began, "HR has to step into situations where workplace boundaries blur. Today we want clarity. Nothing more, nothing less." She turned to me. "You've observed scheduling patterns, correct?" My throat was a desert. "Yes." "Patterns involving?" she prompted. I hesitated. In the corner of my eye, Mara's reflection flickered in the glass wall of the corridor. Still in Orion, head bowed, oblivious to this parallel tribunal. "Patterns involving block time," I said carefully. "Mirrored calendars. Same rooms, same hours." The executive's jaw tightened. His wife did not flinch. Lara's stylus hovered, then wrote something only she could see. "And," Lara said, voice calm, "you have reason to believe these patterns suggest more than coincidental scheduling?" I wanted to say, "Don't make me the narrator of this mess." I wanted to hand the microphone back. Instead, I exhaled. "Yes." Silence. The kind that hums. His wife spoke then, finally. Her voice was low, steady, with that clipped precision of someone who has already rehearsed the lines. "It's Mara, isn't it?" I froze. The executive didn't speak, didn't move. His silence was confirmation written in capital letters. "I've known," his wife continued, gaze pinned on him, not me. "You always think you're original. You men. But patterns." She looked at me now. "Patterns always leave prints." My mouth opened, closed. I was the wrong person in the right room. "Thank you," Lara said gently, intervening. "That's all we needed from you right now. Please keep this conversation in confidence. For everyone's sake." Dismissed. Just like that. A witness shuffled out of the courtroom before the verdict is read. I stood, the air sticky, and left the room with legs that didn't feel like mine. In the hallway, Mara was stepping out of Orion. She spotted me immediately, eyes flicking from my face to the Rigel door behind me. For the first time since this started, she looked afraid, not guilty, not ashamed. "Afraid," she whispered. "You went in there?" I nodded, mute. Her lips parted, words forming and dying in the same second. Then she shook her head, like someone erasing a chalkboard. "Don't," she whispered. "Please, just don't." Before I could answer, the Rigel door opened. The executive's wife emerged first, her expression unreadable, her gold bracelet glinting like punctuation. Behind her, the executive followed, features schooled into the kind of neutrality CEOs practice in mirrors. Mara froze. For one unbearable second, the four of us, lover, wife, co-worker, and accidental witness, were trapped in the same strip of hallway air. Then the wife smiled. Small, precise. A smile sharpened into a blade. "Mara," she said softly, as though greeting a neighbor at the grocery store. "I hear you're very loyal to the team." It was the exact phrase Tom had bragged to me in the lobby days ago. Only now it sounded like an executioner reading charges. Mara's face went pale. The executive touched his wife's elbow, guiding her away. They left together, her stride unbroken, his a half step behind. The Rigel door shut. Mara turned to me, eyes glassy. "What did you say?" she demanded, not loud, but urgent, like she needed to know the size of the wound. "Only what I saw," I said. "Patterns." "That's it." She inhaled sharply, shook her head. "That's enough." Then she brushed past me, heading toward her desk with the gait of someone walking across thin ice. By the time I returned to my seat, Tom was there, at Mara's cubicle, smiling, holding out a takeout bag. Their son's skyscraper picture was tucked in his jacket pocket like a talisman. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw Mara's smile, stiff and trembling, as she accepted the bag. Tom reached out and touched her shoulder. She didn't pull away. The office hummed as if none of it had happened. Slack pinged, printers whirred, the water cooler wheezed. And me? I sat with my hands flat on my desk, staring at my inbox when a new email landed. Subject: confidential follow-up. From Laura. H.R. Body. We may need you to provide further context. Please do not delete any communications related to this matter. My cursor hovered over the email, heart hammering. Behind me, Mara's phone buzzed. She picked it up, eyes darting. A text banner glowed on her screen. I couldn't read the whole thing, but I caught 2 words before she turned it over. End it. And just like that, I realized Q4 wasn't going to be the finish line. It was going to be today. HR emails never wait long to cash themselves in. That afternoon, my calendar pinged again. Confidential debrief, Rigel, 4:30. Same room. Same constellation. Same knot in my stomach. I told myself I'd decline. Pretend I didn't see it. But then Mara glanced at me from across the floor, eyes rimmed red, and I knew this wasn't something you could dodge. My legs carried me down the hallway anyway, like a bad habit. Inside Rigel, it was just Laura from HR this time. Tablet, water glass, no theatrics. She gestured me into the same chair. "We're not recording," she said, voice low. "This is context only." Off the record. Context, I echoed. Yes. What you've seen, what you've inferred, how widespread the chatter is. We need to measure risk before it measures us. I thought of Tom bringing ramen, of Mara's son's skyscraper photo on WhatsApp, of the CEO's wife in her white sundress, calm as a surgeon. Risk wasn't numbers. It was faces. People notice, I said finally. The blocks. The disappearances. There's talk, but not loud yet. More murmurs. If it spreads, it'll be loud. She nodded, stylus tapping. And you? Your role in this? I don't want to be the narrator, I said. Her gaze softened. You already are. That night, I walked home heavy with other people's secrets. The city lights smeared across wet pavement like the world was trying to wash itself clean. The next morning, the office was brittle, like glass waiting for a pebble. Mara arrived late, hair scraped back, lipstick gone, blazer hanging like armor 2 sizes too big. She didn't speak. She didn't look at anyone. She just typed, 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 as if drowning in her keyboard. At 10:03, her calendar block didn't appear. For the first time in months, her schedule stayed green. I stared at the screen like it was a trick. Then, at 10:05, his block vanished too. Deleted. Gone. The gossip mill whirred to life by noon. Tara leaned over the water cooler, eyes wide. HR pulled him into a closed-door meeting, with legal, with his wife. "Careful," I said. My own voice sounded older. By 2, the rumor had upgraded itself to suspension. By 3, Slack threads buzzed with memes about budget review. No names, just enough code for insiders. Mara left at 3:45, quietly, without her notebook. Tom was waiting outside with their son, who waved a sticky hand at us through the glass. Mara bent down, scooped him up, held him too tight. Tom kissed her temple, still smiling like the world hadn't cracked. I watched her shoulders shake as they walked away. The fallout came faster than anyone expected. By Friday, a company-wide email, after 12 years of leadership, executive name, will be transitioning out of his role to pursue new opportunities. We thank him for his service. Transitioning, the word we use when the truth is too sharp to print. The building exhaled, and everyone pretended to be shocked. Pretended they hadn't seen the gray rectangles. Pretended loyalty meant what it used to mean. Mara hasn't been back since. Her desk sits neat, her screen dark. HR says she's on leave, to focus on family. And me? I still sit by the water cooler, listening to the hum, the printer, the elevator's polite ding. But now I hear something else too. The sound of secrets collapsing when the thrill of secrecy runs out of oxygen. Sometimes I wonder if she blames me. If my half-truth and Rigel tipped the balance. If my silence could have saved her. Then I remember her whisper, "Don't." Maybe she knew it was always going to end like this. Maybe the real thrill wasn't the hiding, but the inevitability of being found. I refill my cup. The water cooler wheezes like an old witness, and I tell myself I'll stop noticing. But then my screen lights up. A new calendar block. Someone else. Another pattern forming, and I know the cycle will start again. And that's how a simple office rumor turned into a scandal that ended careers and broke a family's trust. Sometimes the things we notice from the sidelines change lives more than we realize. This was Lily. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.